So today we're putting together our propane tank regulator, and they call it a manifold. That's where several things tie together. Getting ready to hook up my pressure regulator and solenoid valve to my propane tank. As you're looking at it from right to left, black thing with the wires, that's the solenoid valve. That actually get hooked to this LP detector. So when it detects a leak, what it does will kill the power to that solenoid. So this solenoid valve right here, when it receives power, it opens it up. So it is automatically closed. They call that normally closed. So when it receives power, it opens it up. So if the little sensor senses it, or you lose power or something like that, it automatically cut off your propane tank. So the shiny silver thing next to it, that's your pressure regulator. A lot of your propane tanks got 1,100 pounds, 1,400 pounds of pressure. So what that does is regulate it down. On your actual system yourself, is about 1/4 of a pound. They call it 14 inches water column. So it's about 1/4 of a pound of pressure. So your actual appliances, your range, your stove, your water heater, your furnace, all that type of stuff is actually run on about 1/4 pound of pressure. So this regulator knocks it down from that to your little 1/4 pound. That's why you put like your solenoid valves and anything like that after that regulator, so you're not messing with, say, 1,100 pounds of pressure. So, and then on the left side there, the brass fitting there goes directly into the propane tank. And if you don't know, a lot of your LP or propane tanks or all that are actually reverse threads. So if you come upon something and it just don't quite work in there right, or you got a regular plumbing nipple, it don't work right because it has to be a special LP fitting. And it is just a little bit bigger maybe than 1/2 inch, but the main thing is it is reverse threads. So don't try to mess up threads on something. Just remember that your gases, especially propane gas, is always reverse threads on your tank. But everything else, the end of the regulator, into the regulator, the solenoid valve, all that is just your standard threads. So righty tighty, lefty loosey. So on your propane tank, it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. That's a good one. Okay, I might get this mounted under there tonight, but just thought I'd start taking a lot smaller clips of different things to have some information out there. I've been doing other things, getting the house ready for sale, so that's kind of taken up a lot of my time. So I've been anxious to get back on my shuttle bus. And on LP gas and natural gas, they got the different colors of Teflon. So what LP and natural gas requires, the yellow, what it is a little bit thicker, so I don't know if it has something to do, because like your propane and natural gas got little oily films, so I don't know if that deteriorates the white. But anyhow, that's what they tell you to do. So the best way to do this is just hold one in one hand and just remember it goes clockwise, because as you tighten it, that puts back pressure on it. So what I do is just hook it in the back, and then everybody wonders about how many loops. So I try to do 5 loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you just grab it and pop it. And then it just, like I say, so it's clockwise, so as you tighten this one in, it pushes pressure against that one. So this is the the regulator and stuff here and my manifold that I'm making, so I'm just gonna put it together real quick. And then I'll explain it to you kind of what we got here. So like I said before, so this is the reverse thread that hooks into your tank. Comes into your pressure regulator right here, which cuts it down from 1,100, 1,400 pounds to a quarter pound of pressure. And then this is our solenoid valve. It works off electricity, which will work off this detector. So whenever this detects a leak, it will automatically shut this off. So then kills any of your gas coming into your rig. And they call it a manifold because it's where you hook several things together. So coming out of this, our gas flex line, the yellow line you've seen in the other videos, it'll go to here, to here, to here. So I've got two T's hooked up here. So say this will go to the range, the water heater, and the furnace coming out of here. So each one of those has a separate line running up through that I showed you in the other video, so that as this comes through here, it feeds all three of these and goes out. So if this senses something, it kills everything here. And like I said before, this is 1,100 pounds of pressure up here. They call it a double regulator because it double steps it down. And then coming out of here, they call it a quarter pound. Or if you go in a water column, it's 14 inches of water column, they say. So you've got 1,100 pounds coming in, and only a quarter pound goes out to feed all your appliances. So really out of it, you have nothing. But that feeds all three of these, so there's enough pressure, gas pressure in this to feed all three appliances if they all three come on at the same time. So this will go underneath there now, and my tank sits like this. So this will screw into the tank. Remember, reverse threads. LP gases and a lot of your torch gases and stuff like that, it's all reverse threads. So you're righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Like I said before, now you got to think of lefty, however it would be, instead of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So it's a different couple. But anyhow, this will screw onto there, and then my three lines will tie into here, and that'll pretty much do my propane system. But so what I'm going to do prior to this, because you can't really pressure test this, you'll do it with a leak detector or bubbles. So once this is all hooked up, I'll put my pressure test gauge on it, and we'll pump it up with air. What it requires, most of your codes wise, is 10 pounds for 10 minutes. If it's underground or where you can't see it or get to it, then it goes up to 60 pounds for 30 minutes. So I'll put this at 60 pounds for 30 minutes or 70 pounds for 40 minutes, whatever, as long as it holds that, because there's not a lot of air in your line. So it's kind of like a bicycle tube. There's not a lot of volume, but it's just the air pressure. So if you have a little bitty leak, it's going to start moving that needle like within your first minute, first 30 seconds. So you'll know real quick whether you got a leak or not. But then once I've proven that I don't have no leaks, then this will disconnect, and then this will screw right back into here. And then I'll hook my whole system up. This will have come up, and this will be the valve. So all the way up to this valve, I'll turn all these valves off. So this will all be pressured up to this valve. And then you hook from this valve to your oven. And then you open it up, and I like to use, it's called scrubbing bubbles. Because on the tip of it, there's a little bitty screen. And as it comes through that screen, it actually changes it from a liquid into bubbles. That's why they call it scrubbing bubbles, I guess. But that will find just your smallest leak whatsoever, because what happens is, so it's gas or it's LP, that will bubble up and make little bitty air bubbles around it. So you can tell it real easy. That's how you check your final leak. Just with scrubbing bubbles, or some people just use the dish soap with a little bitty paintbrush and stir it up and put that on it. Same type thing, but I found throughout 30-something years, scrubbing bubbles works a lot easier as far as finding a real minute leak, which sometimes are impossible. But so that's just a brief overview of the stuff here. So we'll start hooking that up underneath maybe tomorrow or the next day and do some more shorter videos. Time's getting short, getting dark too. Gotta go. We'll catch you on the next one.